Hey, Jana. Hey, guys, listening to the replay. So here's some of my emotional oils. I don't know if you can even see them. Yeah, just a few. I rated my aroma complete. That's why there's so many. We got some normal ones. Yeah. Got a good song playing here. You should focus. This is my anthem today. Hey! Alright. Yeah. Which way do I want this? Yeah, that way. So, hey Melissa. So this song, for me, goes right along the lines of last night's class. We talked about fear and, hold on, let me turn this down a little bit. So, hey Renee. Hey, yes, I love LuLaRoe. I know, her comfy clothes and cute. All right, so I'm gonna have to turn this off or it's gonna get me. We'll leave it in the background. So last night, one of the things that, oh good. One of the things that Vanessa talked about, which I wanted to write her name down, but you should look her up. Vanessa Stegner, she's on Periscope. The Oil Releaser is her name. She's got an Instagram and Periscope, and I think her Facebook she just does under her name. But she taught the class last night, and she's actually a friend of mine. Yeah, taught some amazing stuff. So I totally went last night like to learn and to bring info back to other people, you know, like I wasn't going for me, I was going for other people. There we go, there's her name. Thank you, Amory. And so I was, you know, it was totally one of those like, oh, I'm going to go listen and learn for others. And then I said, God gave me a big old piece of pie last night. And he was like, here, this is for you. So it was nothing short of awesome. So awesome. And I came home and journaled last night, which if you were there, she talked about. And one of the things that just I really like understood was that I knew how powerful these oils were for emotions, but one of two things: either I didn't apply it to me, or I never like took the time to figure out how they could apply to me. Like, I don't know. I just, yeah, they don't do any good if you don't use them. You know, I tell people that all the time. Like, if you want to stay above the wellness line, you're going to have to use your oils. You got to crack the bottle open and use them, right? But it applies so much in emotional stuff. And, you know, I was talking with my husband about it, and we were just talking about how, you know, everybody has emotions, everybody has traumas, whether, you know, they want to admit it or not. They have things that happen in their life that they weren't expecting, and it has taken a toll on them. Everybody has stress in their life, and you know, I mean, short of people living out, you know, on an island in Hawaii, but then again, they have to figure out how to pay for milk, so that's probably a little stressful. It's like $15 a gallon. Anyway, I digress. But everybody deals with stress nowadays, and so, hey, Jenna, sorry. Love the green hearts. And so, like, even if somebody doesn't think that these oils can help to keep them well and help to support their body, they might be able to see and understand them on an emotional level. And again, who does not need emotional support nowadays? Every single person. Like, every person could benefit from these oils. And so I'm going to try and recap a couple things that stood out to me. I will not be able to reproduce the class by any means. It was, like I said, chock full of so much good information. She just had so many good points, and it was balanced with science. And here's what's great about the oils. We can talk about the oils, and we have we have a lot more freedom with emotions and oils than we do with health, with like physical ailments. And so while we can't really get into emotional diseases and things, we can talk about emotions in general, and we can talk about traumas and hurts and unforgiveness and like all this kind of stuff. And okay, I'm gonna need Spotify to not give me commercials. I have enough of a hard time keeping track as it is. Okay. So I'm going to try and give you the Cliff Notes version of last night. Like I said, unless I was going to talk for the next hour, it's probably going to be impossible to cover it all. But I'm going to give you the things that stood out to me. And I know. So I only took a page of notes because I took a screenshot of all the slides. But there was so much good stuff. Okay, so one of the things that she took a lot of information from was this book, Who Switched Off My Brain by Caroline Leaf. Look her up. She's got like a TV show out there, and she's got a couple books. This was her first one, but she's got some other ones. I don't know if this is backwards for you guys. It is for me. But this is an awesome book, and this is where she got, Vanessa got a lot of her research. And so it was really interesting because she talked about how she's read this book, and she loves Caroline Leaf. But being able to put Caroline Leaf's research, she's a brain researcher. So being able to put her stuff with what we know about emotion, with, you know, oils, essential oils, and how essential oils work in our brain and how they work on our emotions was just like super powerful, awesome. Oh yeah, Caroline Leaf is on Facebook. She does some awesome, like, you know, one-line posts and things. Like, she's really good. Look her up. And then one of the other books that she talked about was this one. And this is Releasing Emotional Patterns with Essential Oils. And I have to admit, I've had this book for like 2.5 years. And I looked at it like once or twice, and then that's it. So I'm going to be busting open this book a little bit more. And anyway, so let me see if, like I said, I can kind of try to recap some of the things that she went over. And yeah, so this book is amazing at like going through things, and whether you realize what you're holding on to or not, a lot of times we do, and sometimes we can figure out those. Yeah, I know, they're pretty cool, huh? Those are some of my empties. Thank you. So sometimes physical manifestations are because of emotional blockages. Okay, and if you didn't know that, I promise it's true, and these books will help you understand that. So sometimes physical things going on in our body are because of emotional traumas, you know, blocks that we have put. Maybe something happened to us and we were not ready or equipped to deal with it, and so we stuffed it and we just kept it stuffed. And again, what that does is that blocks the flow of energy to our body. If you don't understand energy, it is not a weird or like voodoo kind of thing. It is very real, and you can call it what you want. You can call it chakra, you can call it energy, you can call it frequency. Again, some of these books talk about it. The Chemistry of Essential Oils Made Simple, Healing Oils of the Bible, all those talk about frequency, and it's a very non-weird thing. It's a very scientific thing. They can prove it. It's measured in megahertz, your frequency is. And so when things get trapped, they can get trapped in different parts of your body. For example, anger commonly gets trapped in the liver. And so when you're putting essential oils over the liver, like release or forgiveness or some of those kinds of oils, putting them over the liver actually helps to physically let go. Work. I know. It's okay. It'll be on catch. So they really do physically show up and can actually physically help. So I'm going to get a little personal today, and if I cry, I'm not going to apologize, because that's just how it is. But I have been dealing with some things for the last probably 6 months, physical issues for the last 6 months. And so, like I said, I'm not afraid of crying, so it's okay. Like I said, went into the class last night. You know, my husband asked, like, why are you going to the class? And I was like, oh, to, you know, just take notes and to bring them back to other people, because, you know, I know lots of people are really interested in this. And so sitting in the middle of the class, God was like, you know, here, this is for you. And I walked out of that class last night, probably lighter than I had been in months. I could breathe deeper. I didn't have this weight on my shoulders. And I came home and I picked up a book that has been sitting on my table for months that I have been intending to start, and it's a devotional book. And I got my journal, and I got a couple oils that I had. It was frankincense and joy. That's what I had. Dude, use what you have. You do not have to go buy all of these oils, okay? The Feelings Kit is amazing, and I think everybody could super, super, super benefit from it, anywhere from kids all the way up. But use what you have. So I had Frank and Joy, and that's what I put on. And I journaled a little bit last night, and I felt amazing. I have not felt good at nighttime, like I said, in months. I've been having some endocrine stuff going on, hormonal stuff going on. My cortisol level has tanked. I'm beyond adrenal fatigue. It's gone into adrenal exhaustion, and I've had some tests done but have not been able to get any relief from it. And last night, some of the things that she shared, I have way more power over this than I have given, than I've let myself believe. And I walked out of there with hope and knowing that I can do something about this. And I was so excited, and I was able to eat today, which is something that I have been kind of struggling with, just lots of stomach issues and anxiety, and that is not who I am. Like, I'm a blue. I like to go out and party and have fun, and I have lost part of who I am over the last couple months, and it's been really frustrating and really hard for me. I went to the Gold Retreat in June and was miserable almost the entire time. I didn't get to talk to people. I didn't get to enjoy the food. It sucked, and I'm going to Ecuador next week, and hormonally it's about the time when I would kind of have a crash, and I was really upset about it and frustrated because I'm trying to get into this new doctor and I couldn't get an appointment until after we get back, and just kind of praying like, God, please help me. and he did last night through this class, and so I'm so excited for just the future and the hope that I have, and that I don't have to go see a doctor to get help. I mean, I'm going to, and I'm really excited about what pieces of the puzzle that might add, but that I have a lot of tools right now today that I can use. And so I want to share some of those with you because they're freaking awesome. So one of the things that she said, and I tried to send all the little, thank you, Danita. I tried to send all the little screenshots to my computer, and I know a lot of people are struggling with a whole lot of stress, cortisol issues, endocrine stuff, adrenal stuff. And again, you know, I was convinced that I needed help from someone else. And from this class last night, thank you, Dana, realized that I don't have to wait, and I've got tools now. So I sent the screenshots to my computer, and I sent them small because I was in a hurry, and now they're like teeny tiny, and so I don't know that I can read them very well. Anyway, okay, so emotions, they are real things, okay? Thoughts produce emotions, and emotions produce feelings, right? And your feelings can produce physical effects, okay? If you did not know that, I promise it's true. My husband and I were in counseling for like the first 2 years of our marriage because we were screwed up. Well, we still are, but did you turn the fan off? I wanted it on. Thanks. Sorry, my hall fan. Hey, will you turn my other fan on too here? Please? It's hot in here. Thank you. And so one of the things that we learned is that emotions are not bad. We have a tendency, as people do, to say that there's 5 basic emotions and we categorize them into good and bad, right? So you've got, you know, happy, I don't remember. What are the other ones? Happy, sad, anger, lonely. Hungry is not one. Anyway, so we have a tendency to categorize them and to say that there's good emotions and bad emotions. But in reality, God created all of them, and they're all good. If you've seen the movie Inside Out, I learned this like 10 years ago, and so when the movie brought it out, I was like, this is awesome. Feelings and emotions are just messengers. They're there for a reason. They are there to tell you something. And something that our counselor made us do early on was to ask, okay, what is this feeling? What is this emotion trying to tell me? And anger is not bad. Anger is a real and true emotion. God created anger. But it's how we, respond to it. It's what we do with it. But anger is just a messenger. And when you take a step back and say, okay, why am I angry? And you look at what's underneath those emotions, yeah, awesome. What is underneath those emotions and where that emotion comes from, that's where the power lies. And when you all of a sudden understand that I'm angry because I feel abandoned, and then you realize that it's really not anger. A lot of times sadness is hiding behind anger. They didn't get into that in Inside Out. Maybe I should help him write a sequel. Anyway, but a lot of times it's these thoughts and these beliefs that we've had from an incident way long time ago. Maybe you were hurt as a child and something happened, and so anytime something, maybe Vanessa shared a story last night about how, she has a sister and nobody showed up to her sister's birthday party, and that created a hurt in her, and now years later her sister has been afraid to like schedule oils classes because she didn't realize it, but deep down she has this fear that nobody's going to show up. And when she finally realized that, oh my gosh, that's why I'm afraid to schedule these classes, she was able to deal with that hurt and that emotion from so long ago, and now that has given her the freedom and released her from that, that pain and that insecurity. So emotions are not bad. Feelings are not bad, but they're messengers, and we need to figure out what are they trying to tell us. Some of the things that our counselor told us is sometimes we make people too important, and when they let us down, we're mad because they let us down. Well, in actuality, we set them up because we are expecting them to fill a role that they were never meant to fill. Holy cow, that is so huge. I don't know if y'all heard that. I didn't, my counselor, right? So like my husband, he is not meant to meet all my needs. He is not meant to be there emotionally for me all the time. There are things that he's only a human. He can't do everything for me. So many times, we all do, Melissa, if we're honest. Many times I set him in the role of God, and he will always disappoint me because he's not meant to be God in my life, and he's not meant to meet those needs. I need to be emotionally fulfilled through God, and then let my husband take the role that he is meant to take. So, thanks. Okay, that was big, and that was not from last night, but I was able to connect, a lot of things, and it just, oh my gosh, so good. Okay. All right, y'all. Crap. I gotta go pick up my kids. So I don't have a ton of time. Oh yeah, invite your followers, peeps. And then this will be on my catch. So catch.me/JessJacobs117. Okay, so share that with your people too. All right, so I'm gonna quit talking about me and try and recap the class. She talked about the mind, soul, and body connection and how they are all very, very connected. And that is one of the reasons why your emotions and your feelings can actually affect your physical body. That is why you can literally make yourself sick by thinking about something too much. And by, one of the things that she said, which was awesome. Let me see if I can find it. I remember what it is. But one of the things she said, oh, computer, it's running slow. 83% of all sickness starts in the mind. Only 13% is environment, diet, and like toxins. Holy moly, y'all. 83%. Was that, and then 17%. Yeah. So 83% is all in our mind. And that is when I went, oh my gosh, I have control over this. Yeah, right? So many times we spend, so much energy and effort on diet and, all this stuff. And not saying that you shouldn't, the more you can eliminate toxins from your life, the better. But yeah, so your thoughts and your emotions and your feelings can literally make you sick or make you well. And the Bible backs this up a bazillion times. She shared a ton of scripture last night. She's like, and this isn't even all of them. Like, it's amazing how much, the Bible backs up all of this stuff. Talks all about oils in the Bible and anointing yourself and how thoughts, anyway, craziness. So, that was the slide that I went, oh my gosh. And she talked about hormones, and I'm not going to be able to find it on here. Yes, I know, right. Yeah, so I showed that at the beginning. Dang it. Okay, so these are itty bitty. I'm going to have to do the slides maybe tomorrow or later today because I'm not going to be able to do all of this. But when I realized, and this is where she talks about, and I've actually heard this other places, I've heard that people that have been diagnosed with cancer, they will do a couple things. And actually somebody in Young Living did this. For 30 days, they drank Ningxia Red because they said they weren't sure which direction they wanted to go, but they knew Ningxia Red was amazing. And so they juiced and did Ningxia Red solely. And then the next thing they did was they would not allow anything negative in their mind or watching anything negative for 30 days straight. And it's amazing that there's research out there about cancer and about illnesses and things. And when you are feeding those negative thoughts and the fear and, the anxiety, the cancer grows. But when you start to focus on positive thoughts and love and all of these things, all of a sudden the cancer stops growing. And it's amazing. I mean, with your thoughts, that's it, your thoughts. So she talked about how the opposite of love, anybody know what the opposite of love is? Most people think anger. The opposite of love is fear. Another one, like, oh my gosh, I have been dealing with a lot of fear because I don't have answers to exactly what's wrong with me. I am afraid something's really wrong with me, you know, like something serious, and that starts to spiral, and like that has been a huge thing for me. And so realizing again that I have the power to stop that fear, that, you know, fear only has as much power as you give it. Like if you refuse to give power to fear, and you know, I am not going down that road, and instead you start to fill yourself with love, you know, with scripture, with books, with positive affirmations, and you start to tell your body how to respond. Whoa, huge. Yeah, she talked about some of the hormones, right? And she talked a lot about the endocrine system, and I was like, talking about cortisol, and those are the negative hormones, that there are positive hormones and then there are negative hormones. And so by focusing on the negative, by giving into the fear, your body is actually producing hormones, because okay, your pituitary and your hypothalamus are both located in your brain, and both of those things are affected by the limbic system, which, if you know anything about oils, smelling essential oils gets to your limbic system instantly and it starts to affect it. It's amazing. That is why you can literally smell an essential oil and it can change your mood instantly. It can start to change your emotions. It can start to, you know, just turn your day around. And I've seen this many times in my children. This is forgiveness. It's just what I had in front of me. So she talked a lot about the emotional oils kit. And, oh yeah, I don't have all of them right here, but forgiveness. Okay, so Valor is in the emotional oils kit. Release, present time, inner child, joy, forgiveness, and harmony, I think, are the ones in the emotional oils kit. They come in 5 milliliter bottles. One of the other things that comes in the emotional kit is a CD from Gary Young. And he talks about why he created the emotional oils kit, kind of how they work, some of the blends, why he put different oils in them. So it is an awesome tool, the CD that comes with it. And I have, I think, all of the emotional oils, but I thought, ooh, I would almost order it again just to get the CD. But again, like lavender is a really good one. Stress Away, frankincense, lemon, all those come in your premium starter kit. Those are great emotional oils. Use what you have. She was talking about her grandmother had not slept in years, had not had a good night's sleep. I mean, she'd slept, but not had a good night's sleep because she would have nightmares. And lavender gave her mind, like it literally went into her mind and helped it relax to the point that she could have decent sleep. Like these oils affect our body physically and emotionally on an emotional level. And like her grandmother was instantly able to tell a difference because all of a sudden she wouldn't have nightmares anymore. And so one of the other big things that she talked about that was super amazing is that there are, okay, oils have lots of different constituents, right? Or parts to them, ingredients, whatever you want to call them. And 3 of the main components in a lot of the oils are phenols, sesquiterpenes, and monoterpenes, okay? So she described what those 3 things do. And again, I think this is backed up in some of Caroline Leaf's stuff and other places. Well, I know it is. But phenols. All right, so phenols help to clean the receptor sites. So you've got things in your brain that are wired. Oh yeah, we're wired for love, by the way. We are not wired for fear. Our bodies are wired for love from a very early age. That is why little babies want to be held and why they fall asleep on your chest. You know, why when you cuddle them and you wrap them up, how they instantly calm down most times. We are wired for love. And so by accepting that and starting to believe that, it can literally change your body. And so, phenols. Okay, so in your brain you have receptor sites, and these different receptor sites are wired to accept different things. And she, again, Caroline Leaf talks about how these receptor sites are almost like, oh, that's so sweet. And she talked about that a little bit too, about, you know, adoption and foster kids and stuff like that, and, you know, the acceptance and the love that they need. So she talked about, how sperm, okay, sperm are wired to find the egg. There are receptor sites that they're looking for. It is chemically coded in them to find the egg, right? Same thing with these receptor sites in our brain. They are wired to accept certain things. So for example, you've got a site that is wired to accept joy. However, because of stress and because of the bad hormones and all these things, that site can get clogged up with, gummed up with mud and all sorts of junk. Well, phenols are, what they do chemically in the brain is they literally clean out those receptor sites. So cool. Your citrus oils are really high in phenols. So they literally clean out those receptor sites. So now all of a sudden you can get that joy. Have you ever heard that so many times our bodies can't accept the nutrients that they need? A lot of times with hormones and endocrine stuff, your body cannot physically absorb the chemicals and the different vitamins and minerals. Lots of time mineral deficiencies. And people can be like drinking minerals all day long and their body doesn't get it. They don't accept it. They just pee it all out. Well, it's because those receptor sites are all clogged up. So the oils can literally clean out those receptor sites. Well, then the, I don't know if it's mono or sesqua. Anyway, one of the terpenes reverses what the coding is, because so many times the coding is backwards. So instead of joy, we're getting, the sadness and the fear. Well, you want that to be accepting the right things. So the phenols clean it out. One of the other ones reverse, what you should be accepting, and then the other one codes it the right way or something. I don't remember all the exact, but it was so neat to hear those things that I've heard about in oils all the time, but didn't understand what they do on an emotional level. And so these three things in the essential oils literally change your mind. They change your brain. And again, Caroline Leaf is amazing on this stuff. Go find her TV shows, her books. I think her last one is Change Your Mind. And she talks a lot about how you think about yourself. And this is big, especially in this business, y'all. The way that we think about ourselves, what we believe about ourselves, what we believe about what happens to us. 10% of our life is what happens to us and 90% is what we do with it, And so deciding that whatever has happened, PSM. Oh, she said PMS at one point, but she said that wasn't the right order. Yeah. So the sesquiterpenes reverse it, and then the monoterpenes do something else. Anyway, I can't see any of my slides. They're like this big on my computer screen. So the cells can receive nourishment. The sesquiterpenes reverse it. She said that there's emotionthemovie.com is one that talks all about emotions, and again, is super, super good. Essential oils are an enhancer for frequency. So again, frequency is super important, and emotional oils can bring up your frequency. So again, just smelling them can literally help with health and wellness in your body. Let's see. I don't remember what else. There were so many things going on, and I am going to have to go here in just a minute. But I promise to get bigger versions of my slides and actually get on and tell you what she said last night, because it was so, so good. Just talking about stress, and I knew that stress is a huge one. Stress is huge for emotions, for endocrine, adrenals, cortisol, all that. Stress is so big. And when they say, you need to get rid of stress in your life, yeah, how am I going to do that? Get rid of my kids, get rid of bills, get rid of housework? That stuff doesn't go away. So how do you manage that? Oh, thank you, Dana. I do too. It's a little messy right now, but I love my office too. But one of the big things, and this is, she talked about journaling, getting that junk out. And one of the things that she even said was sometimes she'll journal junk and then anoint it with release oil and put release on it and say, okay, God, I'm letting this go. I'm going to give it to you. So the thing about the emotional, the feelings kit is a lot of times we don't realize what we are still holding on to. And a lot of times the oils can help bring things back to your memory. There's no way you can go inside your brain and be like, okay, brain, where am I hung up? Where am I, holding myself back? And what was really interesting, I was looking for something random last night, and I ran across this article that I need to go back and read, but it's one that David Stewart did. It was from the Care publications, and he was talking about how to become a diamond. If you just Google David Stewart diamond, it will probably come up. It was the first thing that came up on mine, but it was a CARE publication, and it was this big long article, and I meant to go back and read it today, and I'm going to, but he was talking about how to become a diamond, and he was talking about so many times there are things in our life that hold us back from getting to that next rank or to where we want to be because of beliefs we have about ourselves, and these things that happened to us a long time ago, and it's not letting us move forward. And so I would encourage you that if you feel stuck, if you've got hormone stuff going on, if you've got stress, whatever, I would really encourage you to get some of the emotional oils, the feelings oils, and start to put them on. And in your quiet time. Yes, Vanessa Stegner, somebody posted it earlier, but she is under the oil releaser. The oil_releaser is her handle on Periscope and Instagram. So yeah, she's got a Periscope, and it's really good. She talks a lot about emotional stuff. So anyway, I'm trying to think. So for me last night, yep, there are some things that I have let play in my mind, and I have determined that I'm no longer going to do that. And I asked God what the truth is. And this is something that sometimes my chiropractor will do with me. We'll do these things, and my church has an amazing freedom ministry and all this kind of stuff. And so I know this stuff, but I haven't applied it. Duh. Open the bottle, use the oil, use the knowledge you have. So instead of dwelling on those things, I said, okay, God, what do you want to replace this tape with? These things that I repeat, in my mind, and that I get scared and I let fear take a hold of me. And he gave me some stuff that I'm going to meditate on, and I'm going to, focus on when I start to, get these feelings and my stomach starts to, no, I'm not going there. I'm going to say these things over myself. And again, Caroline Leaf talks so many times about changing your mind. You can change your mind, and you can change your body with that too. So I'm gonna, like I said, I'll make the screens a little bit bigger so that I can actually talk about the slides, and I might be able to do that later tonight and go over the actual class instead of what I got out of it, because what other people got out of it might be totally different. But yeah, asking God, God, what do you say about me? There have been some things that I've walked through, like I said, with my chiropractor, where he has me meet Jesus in my mind, and I will give him junk that has come up through physical muscle testing, things that I'm holding on to, and I will give that to him, and then I'll say, okay, what do you want to give me in return? And oh my gosh, that is so powerful, because he speaks, it's instant, it's, whatever, and sometimes it's not what I think. Sometimes, my brain is going, oh, well, if I'm giving him fear, he's going to give me, joy and, whatever, and it's something totally different, and it just speaks, and oh my gosh. So cool. So it's been interesting, because God actually gave me something a couple weeks ago in the car when I was starting to feel crummy. It was on the way home from a trip, and he gave me something to start meditating on. And so last night when I was sitting in this class, it was like he reminded me of it. And so I wrote it down in my journal last night, and that is something that I'm going to start to speak over myself and meditate on. I'm going to take some time to have those quiet times, because that's definitely something that I have not been doing recently. And because it's so important. So what I was talking about, there are stressors in your life that you cannot get rid of. Work, people, whatever. But you can do things like journaling, like having a meditation time, having a quiet time, smelling your essential oils, and even just saying, okay, God, what do you want to, applying forgiveness and saying, God, is there anybody I need to forgive? Is there something I need to let go of? And so many times it's things that, we have totally forgotten about, but they can literally be blocking and be hurting us physically. She had another slide that talked about where we hold emotions, and the stomach was one for anxiety, fear, all the stuff. And I'm like, oh, well, no wonder I've been having stomach problems. That's totally what I'm battling. And again, I made the decision last night. I was like, we're not doing this anymore. We are not going down this road. I was able to talk to my husband this morning about some things that just surrounding this whole issue, things that I guess I've never told him, and I kind of didn't realize that. But I've been trying to do this all on my own, and that's dumb. For me, that's dumb. Why am I doing this on my own? I have a community of people. I have people I can share with. And so it was a really good morning. And anyway, I'm super excited, and am definitely going to incorporate the emotional stuff into my oils, because everyone can benefit from this. And I'm going to be so late to pick up my girls. So I really have to go. But I promise to share what she spoke. And again, go find her because she is amazing. Oh, good. Good, Kathy. Kathy was in front of me last night. It was so neat to see her. But yeah, so I'm going to, like I said, go over my notes. And I didn't take a ton of notes because I just took screenshots of all the slides. And I wanted to try and listen. So I will send myself bigger screenshots of the slides and then share them with you guys because they were nothing short of amazing. And it was so good. Like I said, the science paired with what I know about the oils and how well they work together. So just go snip some oils, y'all. If you're stressed, if you are having a hard day, go find an oil. Like I said, lavender, any of your citrus oils, frankincense. Oh my gosh, frank is amazing. And it's got tons of that good stuff in it. I love Lang Lang. Jasmine, yeah, the Present Time and Inner Child smell so good. Build Your Dream is my favorite oil right now, and it has all that good stuff in it. Hope and Harmony, oh, such good oils. So use what you have, and maybe go look at that feelings kit. Use your ER points to go get the feelings kit. When I first started, I would save up my ER points and go buy kits. Like I got the Raindrop kit, and then I got the Healing Oils of the Bible kit. Yes, I have a catch, so go watch it. Oh yeah, hey Josh. I got into some of it. Caroline Leaf, that's where Vanessa got most of her science stuff from. But I'm going to share tonight. I'm going to try and get back on Periscope here and share like actually what Vanessa shared because I didn't really get to a lot of that today. I kind of just talked about me and what I got from the class, which was really good. I mean, it was connected to what she said, but it was not what I was thinking. Yep, there it is. Thanks, Amy. There it is, Josh. So, all right, y'all. Gotta go. Talk to you later. Thank you so much.